Hi, and thank you for watching show number 95, The Sunday Call. This is TargetedWest.com's work group call. I am DJ Chris. I'm your moderator and host. We get together every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and discuss the fourth industrial revolution technologies that are exotic that many people don't know about. And that's what our job is, to expose this secret war weapon that's being used on Americans and abroad all over the world. Yeah, this is not just a United States thing. People getting voices piped in their head, having their thoughts read, their sub-vocalization read, having cost stalking or gang stalking in their neighborhood or work. Yeah, it happens. That's all related, apparently. So that's what this is about. The opinions of the callers are that of their own and not that of Targeted West or DJ Chris. It is the 14th of January, 2024. It is 53 degrees in Lodi. I'm in my trusty camper and with the cats. And I don't know what's going on. Nothing's going on here. It's had some rain going for a while. And it was kind of nice to see the earth get saturated with some water. So that was good. Of course, this is show 95. Tonight's show is about the TI Book Club launch. And that book is my book, and that's the TI Moderator's Guide, which is available at Amazon for 99 cents. So you can get your own copy. And if you don't want to pay 99 cents or you don't like using Amazon, you can send me an email if you're watching this video on your favorite platform, YouTube, BitChute, listening on Spotify or on archive.org and posterity. You can email me at djchris@targetedwest.com. I will send you a copy of the docx file for free. It is a service. It's not a profit book. It's a service that I provide. It's 31 pages. It covers 6 chapters. The first chapter is the mind of the moderator. Second chapter is about, I don't remember what the second chapter is already, but I know the third chapter is about the interviewing process. Oh, the second chapter is the technical questions that you may have about, like, what hardware to use. For instance, I use an Asus computer that's 99 cents. I get them on sale at Christmas time, and I put one away because I'm an intensive user. I wear the keyboard out, and I get zapped by unknown people to unknown technologies and could lose this computer at any moment, and there's no reason to push this fourth industrial revolution technology theme and not worry about ramifications, which are going to be, because they're in the cyber part of this world with their C4 ISR in the military and in local, state, and federal police, DOJ, what have you. NSA, FBI all have tools. CIA has tools. Take you out in an instant, wipe your computer out. So you got to have a backup. And they're 99 bucks. So, you know, what gives? This microphone, which I'm going to show you right there, is a Blue Yeti Nano. They're on sale for $69.79 and 89 bucks on Amazon or at Guitar Center or any gaming place. You can buy them. You don't have to get an expensive studio. You don't have to have a high-level internet, high-speed, super bandwidth internet to do a free conference call or a Zoom call. the bandwidth's built into their website. You just ride along with it. And as long as you have at least 20 megabytes per second connection, you're good to go. That's what I have. I can't tell you more about that because you would have to read the book. Now, the moderator book isn't an insult. I hope people don't take it as such, and if they feel that something needs to be changed, you can do revisions on it, and I can send it out to Amazon and update it and update the file to give out. So there's no worries. If there's something you feel I have not included, you go ahead and you can let me know, and I can include it into the document and then upload it to Amazon if it's appropriate. So no worries on that. It's not like it's set in stone. So I was working on a different book and I was stuck. I couldn't come up with anything for it, and I thought, there's so many new moderators now. Why not have a moderator's book to guide people as to how to operate a call? And of course, nobody has any documents or forms about something like that, and there's no guides. So I took it upon myself to make one, and believe it or not, it became the #1 bestseller on Amazon under computers and technology, 45-minute reads. Isn't that incredible? So without further ado, I've got Tranquility here with me, and she's here at TargetedWest tonight. She's from TIEvents.org. Check her out. Her website is the ultimate site in finding out what calls are going on that night or during the day. And she would like to read some of the book for you. So here's the first chapter of my TI Moderator guide for everyone to enjoy who's either on this call right now or watching on your favorite video platform. Here you go.
Chapter 1, The Mindset of the Host. Not everyone is cut out to be a conference host, but anyone can learn how to operate an online meeting. You'll have emails during the day with people giving advice, but the best advice is to have an open mind. Many of my ideas come from my workgroup members. All I had to do was ask. It is mostly about the callers and participants. Your personality will shine too and bring in more folks to attend, so no need to mic hog. A good moderator knows when to mute and let people talk. Many ideas come from the conference participants. Everyone has bad days, as you are probably targeted too, so remind people when you are not up to your normal energy. People do care. Sharing is caring, and contrary to popular belief, people worry about the host as he or she is more vulnerable to V2K, do, and cause stalking attacks. We are dealing with a military-like force that does this terror. This is a war, so remind yourself to always stay fit and healthy. Avoid overeating before a call, and avoid alcohol, as your judgment may wane and the call could go to hell in a heartbeat. Food makes you sleepy, and you'll lose track of the call in no time. Use sativa cannabis for energy. Find someone you can trust to share your stresses of being a moderator. Someone, of course, who supports you and knows your style. If you tend to get angry quickly like I do, try counting to 10 and taking a few breaths of air. Never let your anger show on the call. It makes people uncomfortable, and they may not come back, and you'll embarrass yourself. Find your funny bone and inject it as needed. If you need help, find some jokes online to interject them as needed. Never assume people are perpetrators. Many TIs are suffering and may exhibit the same behavior as one, but your judgment will choose the right path. I have had very few perps on my call after 2 years because I never fight back. I always back off. Fighting the bad guy will poison your call. Use the remove option on your conference platform to boot the person off. You may have to switch to lecture mode until the person leaves. If you use a camera, make sure you keep your looks the same and wear something comfortable. You are the star, even if you are not comfortable with that position, so make sure you act accordingly. Write out a game plan and make rules before you tackle your first call. Put them on your social media as a courtesy and put them on your website. Put them in your mind by writing them down on paper for reference. Cold and flu happen as other health emergencies, so try preventative medicine like eating well and taking good vitamins, especially C during the winter. Opt to run your call in open mic mode and just supervise. Use a notepad and pen to write out your show topics. This will set the mind in motion, and you'll have that information ready when speaking. Using the notes and looking at them on camera gives an aura of knowledge. Politics can ruin a call in no time, so try to keep your political beliefs to yourself and stick to targeting as the topic. Swearing is a low vibrational and can ruin the feel of the event. Try to refrain from using poor words and get others to follow. Avoid talking poorly about other moderators, even if you have personal issues with them. Keep the call upbeat and show unity in the community. Avoid the telephone gossip. It will taint your ability to be fair, and being on the phone can have bad outcomes because people can get you to admit things by accident. Choose email as your main source of contact so you have a record. Telephone calls during your conference are a distraction, so please turn your phone on to vibrate during the event. Do not be afraid of saying no to people if you give them an alternative. Make sure you say no to yourself too and your ego when needed. The power of this position can go to some people's heads and you'll become ineffective to others. We also tend to overwork ourselves trying to save others. If you're dealing with a TI emergency off call, do not be afraid to reach out for help from other moderators. You'll be the message center for everyone, which is a vital service, so always be kind and forward what you feel is appropriate. You'll be guardian, preacher, cop, and social worker all in one, so make sure you keep to your rules of conduct. If you get forced speech, use mute to avoid having that spill out into the call. Many YouTube videos show mukbang, which is eating on camera. It is not forbidden, and you should eat if you get hungry. You can always shut your video off for a moment while you chow down if you feel that it is not the right optic for your call. Find a specialty for your call and make sure you find like minds, and you'll have a complete success. Make sure you follow your time frame and choose an end time because you'll run over the other calls, so be courteous and consider other moderators. Consider the 3 p.m. Pacific time zone for a start time because as of writing this book, all nights are busy. Do not give up and quit. If you get to the point you cannot go on, consider taking a break. You'll miss the powerful ways you can help make a difference in the community, and you'll miss it. You'll be more effective and come back fresh. You can brainstorm and come up with new ideas while away. Show your professionalism in other moderators' calls and refrain from criticizing others on their calls. Be professional in conference chat rooms because they can be screenshot and used to discredit you if you have a bad day. Many moderators have websites, so be on your best behavior so they can include your call on their site. Like I said, have fun and enjoy what you do. Delay the construction of your website until you are sure this is your passion. People persons are best at this role of moderator because they can make friends easily and be supportive of others. Narcissistic moderators get low attendance because of the low vibrational fighting. Keep your vibrations high by meditating or taking a nice walk before your call. This also helps give you a mind lift and prevents cramps from sitting too much. Consider a nice aromatherapy oil to put on your arm to sniff if you feel stressed. I like lavender because it calms me. Buy a paper phone book and keep your phone numbers and passwords safe because of hacking, which can and will happen to a moderator after they have been established. Good luck and be strong. People need you, So use self-affirming messages to yourself to keep your mind fit.
Thank you, Tranquility, for that. You can check, again, Tranquility's website out at TIEvents.org. We'll now switch to the next portion of our call. It is already 15 after. Thank you. TI Book Club is about the NSA. It's part 2. My book club wants me to read a book for 2 weeks because I read too fast. So I've actually slowed my reading down to keep everybody synced up. So, and I've got people still reading that MK Tech book, the MK Ultra 2.0. That one was a winner. But now it's about the NSA. But this is an older book from 1984, James Bamford. I had someone email me and tell me they had contacted that person back in the 90s and didn't hear back from him when they tried to tell him that they were being attacked or hacked by the NSA or someone. Anyway, it's a book from 1982, 84, actually. It's about signals intelligence history. It's gleaned from an interview about the echelon system that I read about and did a video about with the NSA. And of course, echelon are these big, gigantic listening devices that listen to satellites and overseas communication. And they've been doing signals intelligence work since the telegraph. They've actually intercepted telegraph messages back in the early days of the 1900s. So signals intelligence is nothing new. I feel they've got signals intelligence down to being able to read your mind through the technology that's very sensitive now. So that's the book. You can join the book club at bookclubs.com/TIBookClub/join/ and you can be member number 115 because we're at 114 now. We're gaining about 2 to 3 people a week. So when you're ready, join us, and I update it every day. There's always an update as to what's going on with the TI Book Club. You have message capability. You have your own secret world of books. There's 130 books in the library, all TI related or somewhat related, but mostly TI related, definitely. So you won't be wasting your time with your research if you go there, because I also include free links for free books and books from archive.org, links that people give me, links at academia.edu and places like that. Basically, that's how we do it. Now we're going to go ahead and play one more little commercial. And that's for my book, so please bear with me.
Are you an adventure seeker or mystery solver? Well, your hunt is on. DJ Chris's Targeted Individual fiction series beckons. Journey through The Hills Have Ears, outwit danger in The Dark Cove, and expose secrets at The Faux Farm. Each book honors the spirit of its author's grandmother, the fearless Ida Pearl. Get ready for a series that's as enigmatic as it is thrilling. Will you unravel the legacy woven into these tales of suspense? Race to Amazon, Lulu, and Barnes & Noble to claim your copies. Dive into the intrigue one book at a time, or seize the complete Targeted fictional trilogy set, now available at Audible for the full exhilarating experience. The clock's ticking, and Ida Pearl's adventures won't wait. Order now and be part of the legend.
So check that out. Yeah. It's a dystopian book that kind of dwells on the past and the beginnings of mind control and how the evil science colleges try to take my grandmother down, and she perseveres through everything and continues on. It's a fictional book, but it's real interesting, so check it out. You can just type in Targeted Fictional Trilogy on your favorite browser, and it'll come up with many options, either Kindle book, hard copy, or Audible. So I just put that book in the review process so it can be reviewed. So we will be able to spread out the news and get that book out. It's got information about V2K and telepathy and directed energy weapons. So it's like a historical book on it, but it's fictional, but it's still important because it has the keywords that people need to learn. So we're reviewing it, and then of course next week is going to be the new Whistleblowers Guide that I just bought for the book club. That book is got a red cover on it. It's on Amazon. It was recommended by many people. If you're a whistleblower for the TI community, you should probably read it. Again, join the book club if you want to read more and get a preview of that. We had, well, I'm a little early, but that's okay. We're announcing the poll results. I asked people if they think it's possible that they could go to a call at 3 p.m. Pacific time or 6 p.m. Eastern time, and so the traditional 9 o'clock Eastern time. And 100% voters went for yes. So it was 6 people. I know it's not a lot, but still enough. They all voted 100% yes, that they would definitely love to have a call at 3 o'clock Pacific time. So that's about all that's going on. We're going to switch to open mic mode, and Q&A mode is now going to disappear. So here we go. If you want to *6 and talk, it's open mic. I'm going to do a commercial in a few minutes. And other than that, we're going to chill out tonight. So anybody want to talk, come on in.
Hey, DJ Chris, it's Katie. How are you?
I was just going to ask you if you could talk. You read my mind.
Well, you know, I can talk all night.
How are you? I'm fine.
Good.
Hello.
I got to go to the rally in Houston for Targeted Justice this Friday. So that was a great thing to do. So there was a nice group of people there. And Anna Toledo, she was just as wonderful as could be. And it was great to see Rich again. So that was the big event this week.
I saw you on camera. Yes, I'm very proud of you for showing up to that, especially under your circumstances. That's pretty good.
Yes, yeah. It was. I left about 5 o'clock that morning to get there. So yeah, I was very happy. Yeah, I'm glad I got there.
Well, good for you. That was a historical event.
It was. Everybody was so sweet. It was nice to finally meet some great people. You know who they are. You know them by name. You know them by chatting and chat, like on your show, but you don't know them by getting them face-to-face and meeting them in person. So that was really nice. Everybody was so wonderful. Not a bad apple there. Everybody was absolutely wonderful.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Very nice.
Yeah. Well, I'll let someone else chat. It's been a rough week still, dealing with everything. So I'll let someone else chat. But I'm here, in case no one chats, then you can always get me to talk about anything on the planet.
Okay, cool. If somebody doesn't talk, I'll expect you back.
Okay, bye.
It's open mic. Come on in. Your only chance to get a whole call to yourself for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Just don't drag it out. Your very own chance to do your testimony with no interruption. So, open mic.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, Huggy Bear.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. You're a little muffled, so get up closer to the mic.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
There you go.
2 laptops. Anyway, that's where the subject is the NSA. That has everything to do with how I got targeted. It was 2 weeks prior to a settlement conference that I had waited 7.5 years for regarding my late husband's really tragic death. It was at Bethlehem Steel, and it was his last day on the job, and in an explosion, and it was so bad that it went down in global history as him being the sickest, most injured human being ever on the face of this earth to survive on 1% because the head shock trauma doctor would not let him go. And while he was laying there, it was a cover-up. They left him laying there for 45 minutes. There was 3 different paramedic groups that showed up from Bethlehem Steel, 2 of them. They were all told to stand down, all of them. And I won't say other information or other people that, let me know. He was down there a long time. He was the guy that worked, 14-hour shifts, double shifts, 14 days straight, on one. So anyway, here he is, and I knew him from the time I was 4.5. He grew up right behind me. So we played together as children and hung together as teenagers, and, we really knew each other. My family was like his second family. So he had a rough life, but he was such a nice guy. He was a good guy, very intelligent. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. In 2 weeks I got to go, and I've been waiting 7.5 years. And I've been fighting the biggest law firm in the country with 170 lawyers at the time strong, and just me. And I had OSHA behind me, though, the director, who I went down and met. Everyone wanted to know why I wasn't going to get a lawyer. My mind was not there. I knew from the Bethlehem Steel, him being there, and all the other construction work that he did, and I worked on a few jobs myself as an administrative assistant, that OSHA would know. And I got to meet the director, and he handed me a stack of papers that they usually give the lawyers. So I knew everything, and it was really bad, very, very bad. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I got 2 weeks to go, and I'm online, and all I do is I went back to college for a few years, and I was doing pretty good. And I did that and Ancestry, which used to be Roots Web. So I had 7 surname groups, which is last names, and I was really into that. But I had to let that go because college was getting heavier, and I'm getting all kinds of scholarships, and I had other, I wanted to stick with that. So I'm waiting to go, and according to OSHA, it was 99% their fault. 99% it was not Georgia's fault. There was no way I was going to lose, and I was given a 2-week straight state-level court. And I waited a long time for that, and all of a sudden, somebody's hacked. I didn't know these terms at the time. They hacked into my computer. I'm getting terrorizing phone calls. I'm getting people zooming around my home. I got people taking houses over. Everybody's acting crazy. And on the phone calls I'm getting, and I'm tracing them back to Washington, D.C. And some other phone calls, which I'm tracing to a local Homeland Security site, which took over an old school. And I say that because that guy, thanks to the police department that knew me very well, I had an attempt on my life with a shotgun. It came from that Homeland Security site. the guy that worked there, his brother worked at the Point, Bethlehem Steel. And that guy had a contract on me, and that's a done thing. That's a proven fact. He had a contract on me. He almost got away with it. And he was apparently listening to the radio, we call it, the cops' radio thing. And when he found out I was not killed with that shotgun, he showed up. And when he did that, that's when he blew it. He blew it right to he never showed up. Thank God he did. And so that went in all the records, and it followed me everywhere I went as I was chased up and down the East Coast. And I don't want to go into it all I've seen, but anyway, I'm sitting there, and now the phone calls coming in as well. Oh, and I'm on my laptop, and two unknowns, which I believe now were bots, came over my internet, and I had just gotten MSM, instant messaging, and so I could communicate with the guy out at college, and also a gal down the street that I knew. And it was really neat. I had it one day, and two unknowns came over that, and I'm staring at my browser with Google, and these two unknowns said, "What do you think of 9/11?" And they threw it into Google and hit the enter button. I'm just staring, what the hell's going on? Everything's going wrong. And I became a 9/11 truther at that point. I can't make that up. And this is, to be targeted is how they treated 9/11 truthers. That really bothers me because I was not, but still, as a historian, and I wrote a thesis on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and so it really meant a lot to me, and my ancestors fought under George Washington, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and I got a phone call coming in, and I find out that the NSA is after me with DARPA. And somebody called me and said, "Whatever you do not talk to them." And I called my family members. I was all upset. I said, "The NSA is chasing me down." And of course, she didn't believe it, but it's not that she didn't believe it, but she was up in age at that time. You know what I mean? If she was younger, anything I would have said, she would have went with. It's hard to believe. I had never heard of the NSA. I had never heard of the CIA. But the next thing I know, I got people chasing me down, and I've spoken to too many sheriffs and lawyers up and down the East Coast. They came to me. I didn't go to them. And yes, it was the NSA. And what apparently goes on is the NSA was working with DARPA, and they were running artificial intelligence through cloud computing and all this other wireless stuff, and I was wireless. Not that I think it matters. I did it at the time, no longer do. And that put me into Skynet, which is now called Skyborg. It was DARPA, and it went actually super soldiers as well. But I know too many detectives, too many. And like I said, they came to me. And I was tricked into moving by the CIA torture rendition airport aero contractors. And that's when all hell broke really quickly for me even more. And I was chased out of my home after home after home. And now my life is in danger, and something's trying to kill me, and I'm trying to figure out, with all the mayhem of vehicles constantly zooming by me, and I'm getting shot in the house from the outlets. My pets are getting shot from the sky straight through the roof and being killed, and I'm all alone in an unknown place, and the NSA did that to me. And then I find Karen Stewart, and I'm in Maryland, just so you know. So I'm 50 miles outside of D.C., which is a hellhole, I might add. It is. I went up against them, and I'm telling you, they're corrupt. And when you think of what they did to Karen Stewart, who worked there almost 28 impeccable years, and she was no slouch. She didn't work in a cafeteria, not to put somebody down that did. She was targeted. She's been targeted as well, and she's missing. Nobody knows where she's at. Do you know, Chris? Have you heard anything?
I have not heard. Frank says that she is taking care of her dad.
What I'm finding, I don't want to say. I think, I don't think she's passed on. I've been checking obituaries. I do not think she's gone in this world. Her husband's phone has been changed or turned, I think the number was changed. He had the open turn off. Her line is still operating. Okay, but no one's taking any calls there. So I have a feeling that she's, I don't want to say where, but somewhere, you know what I mean? And maybe they're waiting for her to return. That's what I think. There's no way that she just stopped what she was doing. She was active all over the internet. Interviews, she was over at activist posts, writing some really good stuff. And she was everywhere. She was not going to let up. And then she just abruptly stopped. Just, July 15th, that was the end of it. And I was very sick. I don't want to believe she's gone in this world. I don't think so. What do you think? I don't think
it's quite a mystery.
Yeah. Her neighbor, I can tell you why she's not taking care of her father. I got on Facebook the other night and went to her timeline, and I was really thoroughly reading all the comments. Everybody's wondering where she's at. And one of her elder neighbors of over 10 years says, look, can't find her. She's been everywhere. She cannot find her. She's been her neighbor for over a decade. And she said she is not with her father. She's not there. Nobody can find her. Her own neighbor can't find her. It's disappeared. Now, because of the lawsuit, she's mentioned with all the others, and she has a very impeccable name, very respectable name. I think it's being held quiet what's going on, and I'm going to drop it right there. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mess up the law, targeted justice's lawsuit. You know what I mean? I don't know if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Huggy Bear. Does anybody else have any questions or want to do a testimony? It's open mic night.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Chris. But it is the NSA that I think put me straight over. Next thing I know, I had the military chasing me down. And yes, it was the military. I followed a lot of them back to local military bases, and that blew me away. At that time, I just happened to, there was a general from that base that his assistant was trying to get a hold of me because I did cemetery preservation work, and we had a machine that went over the ground, and it would, this general, he wanted to know if there were any bodies buried under the ground before he built there. And I was supposed to get back up to him and do that for him. And thanks to all of what happened, that went under the bridge. So it's just crazy. But I followed all of them. And every time I followed them right back to a base. So the NSA works with DARPA. They came after me, and apparently they chased you straight into the CIA, the DOD. And so it feels better. I got it off my chest. I obviously don't care for them whatsoever. And after I did enough heavy-duty research on how they came about in this country, we did not vote for them. The only national security they care about, you can ask Kathy O'Brien what she thinks of their national security. That it's the cover-up. It's all, and they're extremely corrupt. And you can read Assange. Look how they treated poor Julian Assange. He wasn't even from this country, but the NSA was found through Edward Snowden and William Biney that they were, they're so corrupt, it's unreal, that they're doing this, they have been doing this to everybody worldwide. And Mr. Tice, who ran the satellites, came forward. They even, I think they threw him in a mental ward or tried. Top guy, he was mad. He found that the NSA was even eavesdropping on all the phone calls of lawyers and their clients. And that rang a bell with me as well. And that was going on. To hear noises on the phone and, and it was a harrowing 7.5 years. It's just sad that justice was far from served. It was never served. They got, and the shock trauma doctor would not turn him off, so he's laying there on 1%, and I'm fighting myself again. And I got somebody with a clipboard out there outside the elevator want me to sign laughing at me as I'm getting off the elevator, pretending to be a doctor, wanting me to sign with a pen in my face to cut him at the pelvis, and then would laugh at me. And that was on the third day. And I mean, it was probably CIA with a clipboard. And it's just amazing how this country, we supposedly have this great name around the world. No, most people do not like us around the world. And I knew that prior. I'm a cousin that traveled all over the world. Most do not like us. I can see why they do not like us, and I don't blame them. And but for this to happen is so shocking. And what I believe it is, like if you read John F. Kennedy's speech to the press, he says that no mistake, they will not print a mistake, no rumors, nothing. They keep a tight ship, and they are ruthless. And it's everything that he said that they are. And they cooped our country long ago. And they did 9/11. I mean, come on. If the NSA doesn't know who did 9/11, it's time for them to hand the keys in, and leave. I didn't vote for them. I don't know about any of you. And I have no problem saying that because of what happened. Even if I had been an activist, which I wasn't, and is this how they treat activists? You see what I mean? They gave activists a dirty names, what they did. They conduct nothing but 24/7 live surveillance. The Wi-Fi is used for the surveillance, the smart meters, the whole thing, the whole smart grid. And I know some targets they don't understand, but when you don't think it's your government, stop and think, then where the hell are they for us? Where is the NSA for us? Where's the Department of Defense for us? Where's the Pentagon for us? They're all in bed together. They all work together. Where are they at? Well, and somebody tell me, where are they? I'll tell you where they're at. They're behind the weapon system. Sure they are. I mean, I don't know that if I have satellites and these cell towers, which are weapons, and they're shooting at me, where's the Department of Defense? I mean, they don't know what's going on. I guess they don't anymore than they did about 9/11. That flew right over the Navy building. Sure, they all know. And the NSA, they're listening to Edward Snowden. They'll tell you what they are. Or Mr. William Biney, who has no legs and who's just assaulted all the time with these weapons. It's very sad where our country is, So, but anyway, that's all I'm going to say, and I thank you, and I'm glad you mentioned the NSA. I got it off myself. So.
Thank you, Huggy Bear. Does anybody have any testimony or comments? It's open mic here, and we're on recording for posterity, so you can get a word and be on archive.org and YouTube.
Hi there.
Hello there. How are you? Come on in.
Not so great. Anyway, I have a question, and I don't know if your audience knows about this. Anyway, Targeted Justice has a sheet of paper that explains that you have an implant that you would present to a doctor if you're planning on having surgery. Now, to present that kind of puts you in a situation of, well, how does she know she has an implant? Is she nuts or what? But addition to this, and it's been scraped off, I can't find it anywhere in my phone. I don't have a computer because they zap it. Was an explanation of how you can actually identify where your implants are, and I swear I have at least 4. Does anybody know about that? In that same article where they have that sheet where you could bring, sign that you have an implant, they had explained in that same article how to find it, and it's with some bizarre little device that you can buy at Walmart. Has anybody heard about that? No one?
Do you mean that device like a hardware department stud finder? Is that what you mean?
What is it called?
They used to talk about stud finders. You buy a stud finder, and that's what they claimed when you could find the microchip.
All right, so it would be, yeah, I've heard of stud finders. Yeah, in a hardware store you could get it, yeah. And that would identify a metal substance, right?
It would be anything, I assume, that would, you could scan your body with and pick up the radio frequency. It would have to emit something.
Yeah, well, there's no identifying radio frequency out of a stud finder because that identifies, the studs in your wall where you can nail into.
Excuse me. I think, are you guys talking about the megaphone?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, where you can buy a $20 megaphone at Walmart, and you use the back side of it and go on. If you go on just TargetedJustice.com.
It's been eliminated. Yeah, go on.
It has?
Well, on my phone, I can't get it.
Oh.
I downloaded. I was quick enough to download it at the library to get the sheet, and I've got the sheet. But the part of it that was explaining where to go to find something, what to buy to find something, I thought it was something about it, but it disappeared off my article.
All I know is they have the instructions and everything when you just barely log into TargetedJustice.com, and you just go buy a $20 megaphone and get the batteries and put it in there. And if you do it on the small end, and you run it very slowly all over your body, when it goes over an implant, it'll start to screech. And so that's how they're testing for the implants.
So is the megaphone electronic, or it's picking up the...
Well, it's just powered by batteries, but, regular megaphone, hold it down and start talking. But there's something in there that when it goes over an implant, it reads something, and it makes it screech.
All right. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So I'll try that. Thank you, because even though I go... Yeah.
I
when I go
know
back in,
if I have implants or not. I didn't think I did, but I wasn't sure on one place. And so I actually did buy one, and I ran it all over my body, and it never went off. But I know that they've done tests with it, like demonstrations with it in Houston when they've had little, rallies or whatever. They actually take the megaphone there, and they'll test anybody that wants to. And I don't know if you can if you get on the internet and just type in TargetedJustice.com, it's on the very front page, on the very front thing.
No, I'm asking because it's not allowed. It's being blocked for me. Yeah, it's being blocked. Ever since I opened it up, I was able to download it at the library, the sheet itself, but I would like to identify places. And I guess I have one more question. Thank you for that. Thank you, because I had no way to get that info again. Recently, there was one night, and I've had never a night, and this is like 15 years of torture, never had a night that I wasn't tortured or couldn't sleep, and chronic pain exudes all over my body. But that one night, it was like, oh my gosh, they must have had no one to attack me tonight. I actually remember sleeping and feeling so marvy in the morning. Oh my gosh, And later in the day, I noticed on my forearm, the underside of my forearm, pain when I touched that area. And there was like two little nodules, nothing visible from the outside, indicating somebody had inserted anything, but pain in a small little, just like a knot, which to this day, and it's been 3 weeks since, that when I touch it, it's hard beneath the skin, and I'm having pain that's out of this world more than ever before. anyone ever have this experience or have anything on their forearm or something they can actually feel when they pass their finger over that area?
Yeah. What you're feeling is like what is called a corrosive implant, and it will eventually dissolve. But the sad thing is there's something in it that's very bad for your body, and it will poison that area. And you're going to find more eventually. So there's different kinds of implants, but what you're describing is a corrosive implant.
It's called corrosive? So there's some
Corrosive.
chemical in there?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you can read about this on some website?
You can find out about it, but what your experience is, it's called a corrosive implant. So it will dissolve. It's going to be painful for a few weeks. You may even get like a red scar around it from the burning of the microwaves, but it'll eventually dissolve into your body, dispersing some kind of form of poison into your body.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
So is there a way to get it out? Or?
Not if it's corrosive. It just eventually dissolves. So the best thing you can do to protect your body is use vitamins. There's vitamin C is very important. Elderberry is very important. Using Bragg's apple cider vinegar is very important. Coconut oil, that will help dissolve them. All these things to combat nanotech.
Okay, can you repeat that? I got as far as vitamin C and coconut oil.
Okay. Yeah, so elderberry.
All right. It's an antibacterial.
Yeah, turmeric is very good. Burdock root is very important.
Well, that would be like for your liver.
Yeah,
it's like
well, of course. Yeah, because if you have a poison going through your body, of course, where is it going to attack? And you need your liver to be strong to start getting in, attacking that poison. So burdock root, turmeric, elderberry, vitamin C, coconut oil.
To actually ingest coconut oil?
Yeah, you can get like the coconut. It looks like you get a jar of it. Looks like a creamy white.
Yeah, I use it. I use it all the time for to cook with. Yeah.
Yeah, so just mix it in your protein shakes or use it in your salad or cooking, because that will also protect brain lesions also. So that's very important.
Are you sure it's that? Because it seems to have gotten bigger and moved slightly.
Yeah, it will. A lot of people get them under their arms in their armpits or on the base of their arms, on the side of their thighs. Is a popular place behind their ears.
How do they do this without any evidence on the surface of your skin? No pinprick, nothing.
Well, it's really interesting because we each have what's called as a hologram on us, and there's a diagram going around your body that's run through a computer. And that's how it's maintained on you through your DNA that they found through a cup from when you went to Starbucks, or they got into your house and got floss or a toothbrush, something with your DNA.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, or, so then they start building the software to match your DNA, and so they can build a hologram. Once they get the hologram on your entire body, then that's when they can start doing the whatever. I'm sorry, I'm getting my spine right now. I apologize. My immune system is very low right now because of my mother's death, so I've gone through a lot of trauma in the past week. The implant can be hit very quickly on you. And it can be done through the air. It can be done through your air conditioning vents in your house. It can be put into your drinks, your food. nanotech is very tiny, and then it grows and it changes in your body depending on which implant they're trying to use on you. There's thousands of different variations of a non-consensual implant. So yeah, it comes through the air, or it's placed in your food, or it's placed somewhere where they know you go regularly. And it doesn't have to be used like a shot. It can actually, because we absorb the nanotechnology through our skin, through our eyes. We breathe it in, it goes through our skin. We absorb it as soon as we breathe it into our lungs. And it has a metallic thread, like a sticky thread that sticks to your body. And then depending on your DNA and how they build the hologram to start attacking your immune system in your body and heating it up, is how the non-consensual implant will work.
So can this be identified by an X-ray?
A traditional X-ray, I have never had one identified by a traditional X-ray. MRIs can be corrupted because they're going over Wi-Fi, so they can hack into the system when you're getting an MRI. So there are. You can talk to Amy Holman. She does Amy's audio. It's her company. She has the software to find the implants on you. But I don't know of an X-ray that can pick it up. But there may be some kind of X-ray. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Yeah, originally I've been suffering 15 years. A very sick group out here in Illinois, outside Chicago. And
yeah, well, let me tell you about the Illinois boys. The Air Force group out there is very, very mean. Yeah, I stayed in Illinois briefly, and that's when I was first being attacked, and I was in the learning process, and I was ripped to shreds there and burned terribly. So I feel for you.
Yeah, and you have a nefarious group, which I know is working with them, that's been in Chicago for decades, and we know what that is.
Exactly.
Really sick bunnies.
Yeah, I went to Chicago with my parents, and I'm just wondering. Sorry, I didn't mean. I went to Chicago in must have been 2014, 15, right before everything. It's interesting you say that because I found out later. I didn't realize then that we had been followed. So it's interesting that you bring that up. Go ahead.
So is it Glenview Air Force?
I'm sorry.
Station in Glenview. What's the name of the Air Force Center?
Oh, I don't remember, honestly. I went right by it. It's out of Springfield, Illinois? Is that what it's called?
Springfield's the capital, south of Chicago.
Yeah, so I think it's out of Springfield, isn't it? Somewhere in between Chicago and Springfield?
I don't know. I guess I'll just Google it.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, there's a very, very well-known Glenview Air Force Base that I think is in semi-retirement. Half of it was built up with the condos, etc., out in Wilmette. Yeah. But, no, it's funny. It's not funny. It's disgusting. But at various times I'll hear, and I'm not supposed to be hearing them talking to each other, but I guess various people who are TIs do, and I'll hear, Hadar, Betty, H so-and-so. It sounds like rhythmic. It sounds like a military announcement of identifying a certain person. And in this conversation, it will be said, she's not supposed to be in this program. Yeah, really.
Okay. That's typical. What they're doing is called the push-pull technique. So what they're doing is playing with you. And it's setting up for the software. So it's going to be
I don't want to interrupt, but I need to stop the recording. Thank you for listening to this or watching this on your favorite platform. If you want to hear more of the call, come back for the next hour. Anyway, thank you for watching this recording.